Back in December 2023, MRSSSTIX participated in the closed beta test, the global test for Crystal of Atlan. This was an upcoming anime MMO. This was an MMO. This was not a, an open world gacha RPG that only featured you as a player. No. And what you're seeing right now is MRSSSTIX's gameplay. She did arenas, she did PvP, she did dungeons and raids, she continued with the story. She did a full dedicated video on what Crystal of Atlan was, what you should expect, and gave a full dedicated review on it. With this in mind, if you're curious to learn more about the game, I will include a link to this in the description of the pinned comment, or you can just do a YouTube search for it. This is a very comprehensive review on it. But after she posted this, she genuinely did. She posted this, and then out of the devs, they just decided out of nowhere, you know what? We're gonna make this tweet. Salute adventurers. Crystal of Atlan community team has always been committed to providing the best community service and experience for the commanders. And that is it. Well, no, actually, they made this follow-up one, wishing everyone a happy new year. Adventurers are gathering in the Wonderland Plaza, welcoming the triumphant return of their comrades. On behalf of the Crystal of Atlan team, Bunny would like to wish you all the best in the coming year. And that was it for 2023 anyway. They made this follow-up tweet just saying Happy New Year, and then an entire year went by. An entire freaking year without a single post on any form of social media until today, 17 hours ago. Dear adventurers, welcome to Crystal of Atlan. Now the beta test is coming for you very soon. You can sign up for the beta test now by clicking this link. Embark on a wondrous journey of magic and machinery. I am genuinely shocked that this game is still alive. I think if I recall, they were trying to sell the game to another studio, but the other studios, I guess, were not interested. So here we are, we're back and preparing to play the next beta. The first global beta was not too great, I don't believe, but I am curious to see the improvements that were made. They made a second tweet 16 hours ago. Dear adventurers, welcome to Crystal of Atlan. Beta test is coming for you very soon. Sign up for the beta test. And then they have a trailer accompanying that. So we will click that, I guess, and we'll go ahead and take a look and see if it looks at all different to what MRSSSTIX captured in her video. I think, and I'm gonna be honest here, I think the game is starting to show its age. Just looking at some of these character models, like when this game was first announced, I think like 2 years ago, I was like, oh, that looks really good. And then now I look at games like look at this, okay? This is Carlotta from Wuthering Waves. This is literally captured in game. When you compare this to this, there's just absolutely no comparison whatsoever. This looks phenomenal. There aren't really many anime games, period, that look as good as this. This right here is disappointing to look at. This looks like Critica Online. But you know what? That's okay. Because it seems these days, MMOs just cannot keep up with gacha games. MMOs just are so inferior to gacha games these days. At least anime MMOs. But I guarantee you, if a gacha game actually tried to compete with something like Black Desert, I feel like they might give it a run for its money. I don't know, dude, I'm just not really that impressed with this. Like, I still think this looks decent, and I would still play it, but... Oh, that was a sick transformation. I mean, that is a pretty cool trailer. Like, I'm not gonna deny that is a pretty cool trailer. That is actually kind of a great looking live 2D wallpaper. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. Unfortunately, the game, it does not look like that. It genuinely does not look like that. Now, you can navigate on over to their website and you can apply for the beta test. However, I believe MRSSSTIX already has, so I don't need to do that myself. This game describes itself as being a Magi Punk MMO action RPG. Once again, you can sign up just by visiting the website if you want to. These are the classes that are available: the Scythe Guard, the Puppeteer, the Gunner, which is actually obscuring everything in the background, the Bounty Hunter, the Berserker, which is the character we actually saw in the trailer, the Elementalist, the Musketeer, and like, dude, this actually looks really good. She looks really good, but you compare her to what we actually saw in the trailer, which was that. You compare this to this, right? That's like, hey mom, we want Crystal of Atlan. We have Crystal of Atlan at home, dear. No, there are gonna be people that flame me for having this opinion, but I think this is giving the false impression of what the game and its characters look like. We have the Magi Blade, the Swordsman, the Blade Maiden. It actually looks really cool, by the way. I don't know if she attacks using like her mech thing in the background, but that'd be kind of cool. The Magister, the Warlock, who actually also looks really cool. So they're the classes that are available. If you're curious about the combat, the action combat style, if you're curious about the state of the world, whether it's open world, instance, the kinds of dungeons, PvP, everything, once again, I do urge you to go on over, check out MRSSSTIX's video, because she covers everything in extensive detail. This is probably the most comprehensive video you will find on Crystal of Atlan. Now, do I personally think the game is going to be worth playing? Or am I in any capacity really excited for this MMO? Kind of. I think I'm the kind of person that is excited for every MMO. Like, I'm gonna be honest, when a new MMO comes out, like, my immediate reaction is, oh cool, a new game to play. So I'll try it out. 9 out of 10 times to get disappointed, especially if it's an MMO. But then there are instances where I have been impressed, proven wrong. Is that going to be the case with this? I don't know. Am I going to play this? I definitely will. Do I think this will do well? I think at the end of the day, it's probably going to appeal to a certain demographic, just like Grand Saga appealed to a certain demographic, just like Tower Fantasy appealed to a certain demographic. And at the end of the day, this is probably going to appeal to the same market that Tower Fantasy appealed to. And the reason for that is because, much like Tower Fantasy, this is a action MMO that has like gacha-ish elements in it that is cross-platform compatible with PC and mobile. So same demographic, might ultimately end up appealing to the same audience, might ultimately end up being equally as bad, who knows. Either way, they are holding a beta test. If you're interested, pre-register now and try it out for yourself, because just because MRSSSTIX said it was good or bad, just because I say it looks fun or not fun, doesn't mean it is or isn't. Try it for yourself and make up your mind on your own. Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna want it.